Hey, welcome back. So pushing on with tuples, we're going to talk about iterating over tuples and then also the two built-in methods they come with. So first up, we've already seen how to iterate with tuples. You may not have thought about it at the time, but when we used .items and we did a for loop with dictionary.items, we are actually using tuples already. But technically .items returns a list where each key value pair is its own tuple inside of a list. But we can just iterate directly over a tuple using the exact same syntax as a list. Nothing changes. Just looks like this. So if we could have a tuple of names, for name and names, print the name, and that's it. Very straightforward. We could do for month in months, print month, just like that. And that's it. I think I already have months loaded up here. So if I just hit enter, there we go. We get every month printed out. And that's all there is to using a for loop. We could also use a while loop. So I'll show how to print them out backwards. So we would start with a variable and we'll just call it I, and we'll start it at the last index. So that's going to be the length of months, but we need to do -1 because the length is going to be 12. The highest index is 11. And then we'll just do while I is greater than or equal to 0. And we don't have to have those parentheses. While that's the case, we're just going to print months of I, and then most importantly, we need to decrement, in this case, because we're going backwards, I. So let's see what happens. Make sure I don't have any syntax errors, and there we go. We get December down to January. So that's that for iterating. Now, as far as methods we get for free with tuples, there's actually just two. So it's pretty quick. The first is count, which we've already seen as well. It just returns the number of times a value is in a tuple. So here's an example. 3 is in here 3 times. We have 1 and 2. If I try to x.count1, it tells me it's in there 1 time. If I try x.count3, it tells me it's in there 3 times. And that's it. It's nice and straightforward. I could demonstrate it, but I think it would be a waste of your time. And then index, which we've also seen. So index will just tell us the index that a given value is found inside of a tuple. So if we have the same tuple and I want to know, okay, what's the index of 1 inside of this tuple? It gives me 0 because it's at the 0th index. If I try and ask for the index of something that's not in the list, it will give me a value error. So it doesn't return false or something, it gives me an error. And if I try and access something that's in there, or I want to know the first index of something that's in there multiple times, like 3, it will only give me the first matching index. And that's that for the methods. Just a couple quick things to cover. We can have nested tuples. So I could do something like, this is not going to be a very good example, but if I had a list and I could do 1, 2, 3, and then have 4, 5 in there, 6, if I wanted to. And if I hit enter here, you'll see that everything looks fine. We have a tuple instead of a tuple. If I wanted to do something like nums 0, I get 1. But if I do nums 3, it gives me 4, 5. And so if I wanted to get 5 out of there, I would need to do 0, 1, just like this. So just like nested lists, same thing is totally fine. Also, I should mention we also can use slices. So if I do 0, remember that goes from the beginning to the end. If I did something like 0 to 4, it goes from 0 up to the 4th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, non-inclusive. And we could also, use a step like this, and that gives us every other value inside of the tuple. So slices also work. So that's pretty much it to tuples. It really comes down to the fact that they're like a list, except they're lighter weight, they take up less space, but they are much less flexible because they're immutable. You cannot change them. So it's really just best for data that you know is not going to change, that order does matter, and you want it stored in some sort of list-like object, but you don't want to go for a full-blown list, then use a tuple. Cool. Next up, we'll see sets.